And welcome to Radio Vision Network. You're here today with Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar. I'm Carol Moore, and I portray Mrs. Whitebriar in this camp. This replicates the summer camp that I have had for the last 20 years in my home in Edgewater Park. The only two things I can't bring to the studio are the swimming pool and the campfire pit. But other than that, everything we do here on the television show, we also do at our summer camp at Whitebriar in Edgewater Park, New Jersey. And every time we have a camp session, we open it with a gavel, and we call the Ben Franklin Stamp Club to order. We use this Ben Franklin statue as our logo because Ben Franklin was the very first postmaster here in America, and he's the reason that we call it the Ben Franklin Stamp Club. And every season, there's new stamps that come out. It's a wonderful hobby. It's a hobby for every age. You can start doing this when you're 3 years old, as many of my summer campers have done. I remember Sydney started at 3.5. She, at a 3.5-year-old level, was able to put all the bird stamps on one page, all of the flower stamps on another page, all of the people on another page. So you can start at the age of 3.5, sitting down with your children and teaching them about stamps. And teaching them is a way of learning history. And then Sydney was such a trip because she went and told her pop-up that she was doing stamp collecting, and pop-up happened to go in the attic and brought out his stamp collections and gave them to the Matusiak girls so that they could have them forever. Now this is close to Christmas, so this close-up here I'll show you about some of the stamps that are available in your post office. All you do is ask them for some Christmas stamps. Everybody goes to the post office to get stamps at Christmas time. Don't put those boring old stamps on. I'm going to show you some really good ones. So my cameraman Brian is going to put some pictures up. And this is one of Valley Forge. Valley Forge is when the George Washington's men crossed the Delaware River into New Jersey and then back again. And George Washington was a very religious man, and he prayed before every battle. And we always say that's why our country, America, is one nation under God, because George Washington's coat that he's wearing right there in this picture had about 27 holes in it, bullet holes. But never did he get wounded. So it was almost a miracle. Let's see another stamp. These are some of the Christmas ones that are coming out, and you'll be able to see those. Just go down and talk to your postmaster. He loves to talk to kids. He loves to know that you're interested. Try another one, Brian. And this is a very good one, as you see. And this is actually a cartoon of the reason that Christmas is in existence. That was a baby was born in a manger, and this is the baby's father and mother, Mary and Joseph. You see the manger, which is a stable in the background, and above it is a star. The star was so bright that all of the people followed the star and found the baby who became the newborn king. Next one. And every year we have one that commemorates the baby Jesus on the right and his mother, who's Mary. And there are famous paintings around the world of Madonna and child. Madonna is the name they give for Mary, who is the mother, and the child, of course, is baby Jesus. There are tons and tons of Christmas stamps out there, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'm going to include a page so that you can add the stamps to your page and start a stamp book of your own. And again, this is another one that is a painting from around the world. Many, many paintings of either Madonna or an angel. This can be either or both. I think I see wings in the back, so I think she is an angel, but she's very decorated to be and honored as the baby Jesus' mother would have been honored. The wise men and the shepherds all followed the star, and they came to the Bethlehem, to the stable, in the town of Bethlehem. And this is a picture of a painting, a very famous painting that has been done probably 1,000 years ago, and it is still viable today, of the people at the manger when the Christ child was born. Again, as I said, the Madonna and Child is a very famous subject matter for artists all over the world, and artists who do postage stamps. make a very good attempt at doing Madonna and Child, because when you're going to spend the extra money to send a Christmas card, you don't want to put a dumb old traditional stamp on. You want to put a Christmas stamp. So be sure when you go to your post office, ask for a traditional Christmas stamp. And this, of course, this is the star. The Bethlehem star is what I call it, because the wise men, who were the learned scholars of the period, they knew something was different. Astrologically, the sky was different. There was something going on, and they didn't know what it was. And they were three kings, very learned, from three different countries. And they got together on their camels, and they followed that star. And lo and behold, they got to that star, and guess what? It shone right over that stable where a little baby, who would then be Jesus. And that's it for our Ben Franklin Stamp Club today. Make sure you send me the self-addressed stamped envelope. I got 3 this week, and I'm sending out your stamps. A whole handful of stamps can go with it, as well as a page for you to start your Ben Franklin Stamp Club. Meet with us here every morning, and we'll be happy to share with you everything we're learning about stamps. That's it for today. We're going to close our meeting with our gavel. The Ben Franklin Stamp Club is now closed, but don't go away, because we're coming up with some other things here. We're going to do a food craft and then a recycle craft before we bring on a discussion about the animal of today's program. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Radio Vision Network Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
My dream job is to run and manage my own spa one day.
To be the general manager for the Jumeirah Hotel in Abu Dhabi, Dubai.
I feel that Merciers has prepared me very well for my future in the hospitality industry.
The kitchen is incredible.
You are planning the meal, doing all the costing and the recipes. You're in charge of everything going on in the kitchen.
They really do get you prepared, and they want to make sure that you have a job after college.
When it comes to injuries,
they're not all created equal.
that's why at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine,
Our team of doctors will coordinate and customize your care
to provide the best treatment options using the area's most advanced medical technology,
all with one goal in mind.
to get you back in the game,
We call life
pain-free,
drug-free.
surgery-free. That's what we do here at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine.
Get better faster.
Stay better longer.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10 and 25%, and sometimes more. We can help your business succeed by providing reliable and secure merchant payment solutions such as merchant services programs, point-of-sale systems, and ATM machines. TCS, one of the leaders in regional credit card processing consulting, offers electronic payment.
And we're back with Radio Vision Network Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar, and we are making something good and delicious to eat today. Not only is it healthy, but it's very tasty, and it's called an avocado. Brianne, will you show us that picture of the avocados? This is a bunch of avocados, and they grow on trees in the warm weather of Mexico and Lower California. Show us another one. And this is actually the flower. You see, the avocado that we're going to be eating is actually the fruit from this flower. Each one of those little flowers, see the little buds? Each one is going to turn into a green fruit called the avocado. Next one, the avocado trees in California and Mexico and other warm locations grow very big. See how big they are? Can you imagine climbing up a tree and banging yourself in the head with one of these avocados? Go ahead, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut it in half, just like this one, and we're going to find a great big seed in the middle. And here's what they look like. Two of them are open. One of them has the seed, one has the hole where the seed used to be, and the third one is something delicious that we're going to be making. And this is a small tree. You can buy an avocado tree, or you can plant the seed that we have left over, put it in a bucket and wait. It takes a long time to germinate, about 6 months. But then eventually in 3 or 4 years you'll have a tree this big. And that's how our avocado has come to be, and we're going to cut it in half with a knife. We're going to open it up, and you see the seed's going to fall right out. Watch. Okay, we got that seed. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a dish, and with our knife we're going to make marks in the avocado. And then we're going to scoop it out and dump it in the dish. Now remember, this is the pod from a tree. We're not going to eat that part. The black part we don't need. It starts green and it turns black when it's ripe. When it's nice and soft, that's when you want to scrape it out with a spoon, get all the goodness out, and then chop it up. Okay, and what I usually do, take a fork and I smash up the back with the back of the spoon. I want to make it mushy. I want to make it so mushy that its delicious flavor is all smushed up so that I can put it on a cracker. And that's kind of what it looks like, a whole bunch of mush. And then I happen to have a clove of garlic, and I'm going to, my clove of garlic, when I put it in the refrigerator, I put it in a plastic bag, which you're never supposed to do. With a clove of garlic, you're supposed to let it sit dry. Well, when I put it in the bag in the refrigerator, condensation collected, and the avocado thought, this is rain, it's time to grow. So what I'm doing is taking a little bit of the top of the avocado, the top of the garlic, mixing it in with my avocado. And most people take lemon juice or lime juice and any type of citrus, which I'm cutting here. I happen to be using a grapefruit. It doesn't matter what kind of citrus. Citrus is squeezed on it for the reason that it's a lovely green color, okay? And we want it to stay a lovely green color. Now, if we don't put any citrus on it, it's going to turn black. It still tastes good, and it's still nutritious, and it's still lovely, lovely. But if you make it green, it'll be seasonal. And I have here, let me see if I can find them. Oh yes. We're going to take some of our avocado and put it on some Triscuits, my favorite cracker. All right, and we're going to put it on a dish. And then we're going to feed it to Brian and the rest of the crew. And we're just going to put a little bit on each cracker. You can use your finger. I wash my fingers before I start cooking, and you should too. All right, now, so we have kind of a yellow tan colored cracker, and that's a good color. And then on top of that, we're putting green, which is the avocado, which is a good color. And then, get one more scoop here. And then I found some dried cranberries. So to make this a Christmas festival, I'm putting one dried cranberry, which my husband said has hardly no taste at all. but it looks pretty. So if you like cranberries, fine, it'll make you happy. If you don't like cranberries, it'll still make you happy because the dried cranberries have very, very delicate flavor. They're not going to overpower anything. And lo and behold, Christmas is just about 2 weeks away, and I have made a very lovely crackers with avocado and cranberry on top. So it's a very good colorful treat. So avocados are very healthy and nutritious. Go on your website, put in your search engine, nutritional and medicinal properties of avocado, and you will be surprised how a beautiful white flower can turn into a giant green pod that turns black when it's ripe and is so delicious. And if you lived in Southern California or Mexico or any other warm climate year-round, you could grow them in your own backyard. So that's it today for our food segment here on Radio Vision Network, Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar. But don't go away. We have another recycle craft we're going to be working on just a couple minutes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial.
We work to keep business costs down with a comprehensive suite of quality products, services, and customized credit card processing programs exclusively tailored for your company. TCS is convenient, reliable, and innovative, with customer service available 24/7, 365 days a year. Our in-depth industry knowledge, partnership strategy, and innovative processing solutions allow for a specialized approach to providing merchant bank processing with 100% full fee disclosure. TCS is one-stop shopping for all your merchant services solutions. Our clients save money 100% of the time. Trust Tanker Consulting Services, the knowledgeable, professional, and friendly provider of secure payment services. We set the standard by which others are measured. Call now for a free written analysis. 609-922-0201.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
You already know that Voice over IP, or VoIP, is smart for business. But what's the smartest way to make the switch? Introducing Encero's Utility VoIP. Encero is a full-service provider, which means we're there for everything you need. From installing your system to comprehensive on-site training for your staff, to providing world-class service, Encero is there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At Encero, we've worked hard to engineer a better voice solution. We create a utility VoIP solution customized for you from the ground up. Our process starts with a readiness check, grooming of the network to support VoIP, and carrier upgrades for optimal bandwidth. We take the time to set up your VoIP the right way. Our superior technology means reduced downtime for you. And our flexible services are all-inclusive. Voicemail, call routing, caller ID, remote office mobility, even down to the hold music or messages. It's all there, and there's no additional cost for adding new features. What does that mean for you? It's everything you need for improved communications and productivity, all for one manageable monthly fee. And you'll have the ability to minimize or eliminate the costly upfront expenses associated with other solutions. And it means you finally have a phone solution that is flexible, scalable, and customized to your needs. With state-of-the-art phones and real-time monitoring of each and every call for consistent quality. Encero's Utility VoIP even gives you your own portal to manage day-to-day activity and on-the-fly changes. And it means unbeatable support and cost efficiency. You'll save on hardware, software, and even energy consumption. Just a few reasons why Encero's Utility VoIP is the smartest choice for your business. Satisfaction guaranteed. Encero's Utility VoIP, engineered to be better. At your office, in the cloud, your technology managed. Visit www.encero.com to learn more, or call 855-200-VoIP to get started setting up your VoIP service today.
Choosing the right fence for your home or business is an important decision to make. Choose a Nello fence for peace of mind. Our family has manufactured and installed beautiful maintenance-free fence for over 50 years. We provide vinyl, aluminum, and wood fence in a wide variety of styles and colors, including chain link fence for commercial and residential. Call or visit our indoor showroom and ask for Steve Anello and see how 4 generations of combined experience mean that you'll get quality and service that can't be matched by any other fencing company, period. Call Anello Fence today for a free estimate.
And welcome back to Radio Vision Network, Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar. And this is our recycle section. See what it says? Recycle, don't waste, and repurpose. So out in your yard right now, as a result of 2 years of growing, you will find pine cones. See the pine cones? There can be many, many shapes. Some are short and fat, some are long and skinny, some are long and fat, some are really, really fat. Those mostly grow in California. And I have a couple of those. And I've had a pine cone collection for most of my life. As a matter of fact, hanging over my canopy bed is a string of pine cones. Every year I take the pine cones off my canopy bed, sit them in the bathtub, and turn the shower on to give them a bath, because they do get dusty. But I'm going to show you how to use pine cones to decorate your house for the winter season. Not just Christmas. Pine cones are all year round. So what I've done is I've taken a pine cone, and I just have an old piece of binding tape, but any kind of string or ribbon that is strong can be used. And I have made it long enough to go over my door. See how long? And it's going to be hanging with beautiful pine cones. And the pine cones are so beautiful, they even have a little sap on the edges, which makes your room smell good, but it also makes them glisten because it's shiny. Now, because this is just brown and white, and had I used a red ribbon, it could have been a whole lot brighter. But I have plenty of ribbon, and even this big fat ribbon is wonderful to use, because what you can do is just pull the fat ribbon apart, and it becomes a skinny ribbon. Because that's the way it's made. It's made with fibers, and the fibers are all going one way. So when we pull it apart, we take a big fat ribbon, and we make it into a skinny ribbon. Okay? I'll do it one more time so you can see. Take a regular old ribbon, pull it down lengthwise. You're going right along the fibers, and now you have a nice proportioned ribbon. Now what you're going to do with that ribbon, whether it be white like mine or red like this one, you're just going to find the center, and you're going to take the top of the cone and wrap it around. Try to get it underneath the individual little parts of the cone so it doesn't show as much. And once you get it wrapped around the cone, tie it just like you would tie your shoes. Tie it, pull it tight, and then go to your pine cone string and tie it to the pine cone string. And we're making it equally between 2 other pine cones so that it looks symmetrical. Same on both sides. And then, because it's the bright red ribbon, I'm going to make it into a bow, so that every now and then there'll be a red ribbon on my pine cones. And this is what it's going to look like. They'll be great covering the fireplace, a door, part of a doorway, anything. I'm going to do another one for you. I take a ribbon about this long and try to do it in a bright color so that it shows up, because remember, pine cones are brown and they're going to stay brown, and this can stay up year round. All I'm taking is the pine cone, wrapping it around the top of the pine cone, wrap the ribbon around. I'm going to tie a knot just like you're tying your shoes, and I'm going to pull it real tight. Remember, pine cones are made out of something like wood, and so they're very strong. And then I'm going to take it to the other end of my pine bough. I'm going to find in the middle of 2 others, and I'm going to just tie it on. because I have all this extra ribbon, I'm going to make a nice big red bow, just like when you tie your shoes, although most kids use Velcro these days. I guess nobody knows how to tie shoes anymore. And there we go, our repurposed, recycle, reuse, our pine cones. They're laying out in your yard, absolutely free. Make something out of them. Last week we took pine cones and we put a string around them and we covered them with peanut butter. If you wanted to hang this outside, you could. It's been outside growing, so it's not going to go bad. But you also could hang it outside, then get your jar of peanut butter, add peanut butter to each pine cone, and all the animals will get a Christmas treat that you made because you recycled, you repurposed these pine cones, and you did not waste anything, and you showed the animals a little bit of mercy in a cold winter day when they need something to eat. So that's it for our recycle program here at Radio Vision Network, Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar. Don't go away. We're talking reindeer when we come back. Go for commercial now and stay put.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
My dream job is to run and manage my own spa one day.
To be the general manager for the Jumeirah Hotel in Abu Dhabi, Dubai.
I feel that Mercier's has prepared me very well for my future in the hospitality industry.
The kitchen is incredible.
You are planning the meal, doing all the costing and the recipes. You're in charge of everything going on in the kitchen.
They really do get you prepared, and they want to make sure that you have a job after college.
When it comes to injuries,
They're not all created equal.
that's why at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine,
Our team of doctors will coordinate and customize your care,
to provide the best treatment options using the area's most advanced medical technology,
all with one goal in mind.
to get you back in the game,
We call life
pain-free,
drug-free.
surgery-free. That's what we do here at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine.
Get better faster.
Stay better longer.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10 and 25%, and sometimes more. We can help your business succeed by providing reliable and secure merchant payment solutions such as merchant services programs, point-of-sale systems, and ATM machines. TCS, one of the leaders in regional credit card processing consulting, offers electronic payments to merchants locally and nationwide through our preferred vendor programs. We work to keep business costs down with a comprehensive suite of quality products, services, and customized credit card processing programs exclusively tailored for your company. TCS is convenient, reliable, and innovative, with customer service available 24/7, 365 days a year. Our in-depth industry knowledge, partnership strategy, and innovative processing solutions allow for a specialized approach to providing merchant bank processing with 100% full fee disclosure. TCS is one-stop shopping for all your merchant services solutions. Our clients save money 100% of the time. Trust Tanker Consulting Services, the knowledgeable, professional, and friendly provider of secure payment services. We set the standard by which others are measured. Call now for a free written analysis. 609-922-0201.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
You already know that Voice over IP or VoIP is smart for business. But what's the smartest way to make the switch? Introducing Encero's Utility VoIP. Encero is a full-service provider, which means we're there for everything you need.
And we're back with Radio Vision Network, Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar. I'm Carol Moore, and I'm so fortunate to be able to introduce you to a story that you've probably known all your life. The story is about Rudolph. Now, I have a Christmas book collection in my library of probably 300 books. And when I went in this morning to find a book that's called Rudolph, the only one I could find was a Golden Book miniature series, and it is only 2 inches by 2 inches. But fortunately, we have electronics, and the same book I'm showing you, Brianne can show you the exact same story, the cover of the book, and that's what it looks like. And that is the story of Rudolph. And my husband said, and you know how I talk about my husband all the time, he said that Rudolph is a cryptid, and that means a almost fictitious, the scientists think that maybe it existed, like the Jersey Devil. There's a little bit of scientific fact, but not enough to tell us that a Jersey Devil is really a creature, like Bigfoot, who is supposed to live in, Sasquatch is another name for Bigfoot. He's supposed to live in the Himalaya mountains, and we have some evidence that maybe he exists, but scientists were not able to determine what a cryptid actually is a scientific creature. So I'm going to use Rudolph as a cryptid. So some of our other pictures, Brianne, this is what a real reindeer looks like. A real reindeer does not look like a white-tailed deer that I showed you last week. I brought you in one of my mounts. And you see around his neck he has a lot of white fur, and he has a lot of thickness there. He has a lot of thickness because he usually is in very, very cold climate, and he needs that extra fur around his organs like his heart and his lungs, so to keep them warm. So this is a picture of a reindeer that, again, might have been what Rudolph, the story, was talking about. And our next picture, and of course, this is the Rudolph that we know. This is a cartoon Rudolph, but I didn't know that how they made this particular Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story for television. It was a still action. He's not a puppet. All the years when I was growing up, and I'm now 70 years old, so that's been many, many moons of growing, and every year we would watch this story about Rudolph. And Rudolph actually is a staged creature, and he is moved a few inches, and then they take another picture. Then they move him a few inches, and then they take another picture. It's a still action, move the creature, and then take another picture and tell the story. So you see that the Rudolph here has a red nose, and that's the story, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, because Rudolph is different from everybody else, you see all the other reindeer have brown noses, and they don't light up. But Rudolph's nose is so unusual that just like children, if you're different, people make fun of you. And in this case, Rudolph was very different. All the children laughed at him because his nose would make such a glow. And Rudolph was very sad. So Rudolph and children who are different, whether their skin color is different, whether their face looks a little different, their eyes are shaped differently, whether they can't walk exactly like everybody else does, they're different. And everybody makes fun of somebody who's different. But Rudolph proved that even if you're different, you are special. You have a special ability, and you have to go forward and do positive things and do good things, just like Rudolph did. And that's why we're telling the story of Rudolph. Now, is there another picture, Brianne? Okay, we've done all of our pictures of Rudolph, and we want you to go out and get the book, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you have a story, a bookshelf like I do with Christmas books on it, go find it and read the story. But don't just read the story about a Christmas reindeer that leads the sleigh. Some people call Rudolph the 9th reindeer. We all know Santa has 8 reindeers. Well, this was a special story that brought an unusual looking reindeer to Santa's sleigh. And all the other reindeers made fun of him because he was different. But guess what? Santa saw that this one reindeer, who was special because he's a little bit different, he might look a little different, He might talk a little different, he might walk a little different, but he is a special reindeer and special people also. So when Santa needed a special reindeer, he was able to make his nose glow, and it's an ultraviolet light which shows through the fog, and he was able to help Santa get all the toys to the good boys and girls. So listen to the Rudolph story, read it again, and read it this time, and think of a person in your school or on your neighborhood who looks a little different. And remember how unkind it was to make fun of those people, and how good Rudolph did in the end, because everybody has positive things that they're going to do in this world. Whether you can walk right, whether you can talk right, whether you look a little different, you're still special. And that's what the Rudolph story is really about. So that's it for today on Radio Vision Network, Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar. We hope you'll come back again with us. This is Carol Moore from Whitebriar, the summer camp, and these are some of the stories we do in our Christmas in July series. And we'll see you next time on Radio Vision Network, Camp with Mrs. Whitebriar.
Graduates of our university end up going places. Same goes for our students. Because while our campus may be a launch pad for bigger and better things, it's also a prime destination filled with sights, sounds, and some pretty good eats. So, while you're preparing to take on the world is right outside your door. Wayne State University. Aim higher.